Now, skin cancer is the most common cancer worldwide, and South Africa has one of the highest monitored ultraviolet or UV levels in the world, resulting in one of the highest skin cancer rates globally. This is according to the Cancer Association of South Africa. The association is also urging families, schools and communities across the country to take extra care in the sun this summer as UV radiation reaches dangerous levels. Now, with school holidays in full swing and outdoor activities increasing, children are especially vulnerable to sunburn, long-term skin damage and future skin cancer risk. To talk more about how we can protect our skins this summer and lower the risk of skin cancer, let's chat to Lorraine Govender, CANSA National Manager for Health Programs. Lorraine, thanks for your time. Thanks for being with us on this very important topic we've got this morning.
Good morning, Leanne, and good morning to the viewers. And thank you so much for drawing attention to this very important cancer, which is often not spoken about. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it is vitally important and unfortunately a growing form of cancer, I imagine, because, you know, it's something that's always there, the sun. But let's just talk about something. Although we've been having rainy conditions recently in South Africa, it's a very sunny country, but this can be a hard task, avoiding the sun.
Definitely, absolutely. So as you said, South Africa is one of the sunniest places in the world. So, you know, we often, when we think about the sun and the damage, we think, okay, when I'm going to go to the beach, then I need to be worried about it. But, you know, sun exposure occurs all the time, whether you're doing your normal routine, like walking to the taxi or driving or working outside, we are exposed to strong UV. And, you know, therefore, we can't say that we want you to be completely eliminate this. It's not realistic. But we want to tell people, let's be sun smart. And there's easy tips to follow.
Yeah, so when I mentioned in the introduction that South Africa has one of the highest monitored ultraviolet levels, UV levels in the world, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so we often, you know, when we listen to the weather, we often hear, you know, high UV index levels. So basically, UV radiation is a component of sunlight that can damage our skin and eyes. So South Africa regularly records very extremely high UV index levels. And this is simply because of we are in the southern hemisphere. And we also have the added concern about the ozone thinning. So this means that in South Africa, the sun's radiation is stronger than any other regions globally. And as a result of this, it exposes us to skin cancer, sun damage. But the good news is, you know, you can do things, you can adopt a lifestyle to prevent yourselves from this damage.
So let's talk about that. I know you mentioned a few tips in the in your first answer, but let's advise people what to do. I mean, obviously you say hats, wear hats, put your skin block on and sunblock or whatever. But tell us a little bit more. How do we protect ourselves?
Yeah, so you know, like many other cancers, when we out there and we want to enjoy ourselves, we never think, okay, you know what, I'm going to have some sort of damage, whether it's taking alcohol or smoking. Skin cancer is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, what you do now will not affect you immediately, but it will have an impact on you later on. So the incidence of skin cancer, definitely young and more especially older people. So to prevent skin cancer, we need to first look at how can we reduce our exposure to UV radiations and what can we do to detect any changes. So yes, as you mentioned, sunscreen. Now there's so many sunscreens out there and you often don't know what to choose.
Yes.
But I think we need to look at the SPF, the sun protection factor of at least 30 plus is important. And you know, sunscreen doesn't mean, okay, when I'm going to the beach, I'm going to put it on. Leanne, it should be part of our daily makeup. You know, when we put on our skin lotions or creams, we can also use sunscreen at that time.
Yeah.
It's important to apply that to make it part of your daily makeup kit as well, you know, put it on. And then the other thing is wearing protective clothing. So, you know, long sleeve, thin clothing, sunglasses, because as I mentioned earlier, it affects our eyes and our skin, and we often don't think about our eyes. So yes, sunglasses are important, as well as a hat. Now, Leanne, broad-rimmed hat. We wear these fancy caps and things like that. That's not going to protect us. We really need to look at broad-rimmed hats. And the other thing is staying away from the sunlight. Now, Leanne, if you look at the schools, many of our events are outdoors and it's during the peak time. I think schools can do a lot to change that, to try and make our sporting events in the afternoon. And also, when our children are out there, make sure that there's some sort of shade cover for them. It's important. Between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. is when the highest levels of UV exposure happens. And the other thing is our fair-skinned people, they want to go to the tanning beds. It's important for viewers to know, avoid tanning beds at all costs,
Yeah.
because this, really can cause skin cancer.
Yeah, that's one thing that I have stopped, and very quickly. I stopped it many, many years ago. I also thought, I'm going to go lie in the tanning bed and get a instant tan.
Yeah.
And then I just realized what I was doing for myself and to myself, and that was definitely something that I avoided. I want to quiz you on one or two things you said there. So avoid the sun between 10 and?
3 p.m.
3. So
3 o'clock
that's
in
when it's strongest. Okay, 10 to 3.
Yes.
And then I also want to quiz you about these SPFs. You get 20, 30, 50, 40, whatever the case may be. What do they actually mean? I mean, I've heard so many theories of what, 30 stands for 30 minutes, 40 is 40 minutes, 50. Is that true, or what do they actually mean?
Yes. So it's the amount of time that it's going to protect you when you are
Okay.
exposed to sun, SPF 30, 50. But we definitely say 30 onwards, is something that you must look for. But Leanne, the other thing is we often make the mistake, we put on the sunscreen and then we're at the beach and we go for a swim and we think, okay, we're safe. And, the fact that we've wiped ourselves, we've
Yeah.
removed the sun protection factor. So it's important to actually put on your sunscreen when you are out there as well, to reapply it.
Yeah.
That is very, very important.
I'm going to interrupt you because I'm going to throw as many questions
No
as I can. We've only got not even 2 minutes left. There's different
Oh.
types of these creams. We keep saying cream, which is what I imagine is very good for you. But what about, you get these sprays, the ones that are more of an aerosol, not a cream, but an aerosol, oils, things like that. What do you think of those?
Yeah, no, we also we have endorsed. So
Okay.
people can, if you are confused, you can look for the cancer seal of recognition. It means it's been tested and it's good. So whether it's the sprays or the creams, all of them have a role to play,
Okay,
and you
good.
can use it.
So darker skin, there really is a myth that darker-skinned people don't get skin cancer, and you're okay, and you can't get sunburned in cloudy, windy, and cool days. Perhaps you want to talk to those myths.
Yeah, definitely it's a myth, Leanne. And we do find the incidence of melanoma more especially, which is a more aggressive skin cancer among darker skinned people. And what we find is that with the darker skinned people, it's often more fatal because it's detected early. We don't think, okay, you know what, I'm going to get skin cancer because I've dark skin, I've got my melanin and it's going to protect me, and I don't think of it and I don't check myself. So that is a problem. And we really, when you also think about skin cancer, you think, okay, mainly my face and things like that. But melanoma especially occurs in your extremities, like your legs and things, the palms, your soles of your feet, areas that you really don't think, you know what, you're going to get cancer. And that is why we want the public to know, irrespective of your skin tone, you can get skin cancer.
Yep. And that is a harsh reality all of us need to keep in our minds. I've run out of time, but can I get you in 30 seconds to tell me, when must I start worrying? If I have something on my skin and I need to go and get that tested, what do we look out for? Very quickly.
So very quickly, any changes. So if you have a skin lesion,
Yeah.
a melanoma, for instance, any changes in it, like the color of it, the size, the shape, the symmetry, both sides should be looking the same. And if suddenly it changes, one is like bigger than the other side, or it starts reddening, or bleeding for that matter, you need to go and have it checked. And Leanne, I want to say, like women do the self-breast examinations, we should be checking our spots as well. Get someone to check your back if you're worried
Yes.
about the spot that you have there.
That's
it's
a
very
big thing.
important. To check your
Very
spots.
big thing. Okay, this summer, I'm going to get my husband to check my back out. I hope. Lorraine,
Awesome.
thank you so much. Lorraine Govender, CANSA National Manager for Health Programs, talking about CANSA's Sun Smart campaign, urging families, schools, communities across the country take extra care in the sun as the UV radiation reaches very dangerous levels.